Fellas, I need to tell you something. The channel is not doing well. You see, YouTube looks at me and just sees an American cuckboy making 8-minute videos about units in a small mobile game. And it thinks to itself, 8 minutes isn't very long. And to that, I respond, the average man lasts 5 to 7 minutes. But I digress. You see, what I really need is watch time. So instead of me shitting on a single unit for 8 minutes, it will be me rambling incoherently about all the units for upwards of 30 minutes. So sit back, relax, and allow me to bestow my infinite wisdom upon you. Alright, so here we are in Tier Maker, and we'll just get right into it. First up, we have the Flying Dexter Fragment. I'm not gonna lie, I'm barely a fan of the normal Dexter Fragments. Making this one flying, it does make a tanky flying unit, I will give it that. Just because of how tanky it is, I'll give it a B tier. Other than that, unimpressed. This is the U something gunship. I think it was like UL. I don't know. I don't remember its name, therefore I was probably unimpressed. Actually, I remember videos on it, and I was unimpressed. Okay, this thing was like the Skyraptor, one of the first boss strike. I think I actually had this unit. It was a tier 3. I was a low level free-to-play player, and I would never use this unit. So it's gonna go ahead and go down here in D tier. I don't remember this. I think this is like the Kitty Hawk. I think it was okay air to air. Yeah, it's gonna go ahead and go to C tier. This was a bomber unit that could like drop 1 bomb every 3 turns. I remember it being trash. No one used it. It's gonna go right there in D tier. Same for this, except instead of bombs, it would drop like a trooper, and that trooper would shoot once or twice maybe. That was it. So it's also D tier. In fact, most of these boss strike units I remember not being good. This is the Thundercloud. I feel like it was good at anti-air, so I'll just put it right here in C tier. Okay, we have this blimp. I don't remember the name of it, but it does remind me of the Hindenburg disaster, so we'll just go ahead and put that in a B tier. Drone, the drone, it was good against vehicles, and drone warfare is pretty popular in the world right now. So we're going to put that in A tier. This thing looks trash. It looks like a helicopter with some flamethrowers strapped on it. I don't know how effective flamethrowers are whenever you're a helicopter. So let's go ahead and put that down here. Okay. One of these 2 units right here is the Snake and was pretty good. The other one is the Cobra and was a lot less good. I would put the Snake up here in like S tier and the Cobra down here in C tier. But because I can't tell which one's which, they're both gonna go into D tier. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, this is the Kitty Hawk. Dumb name, B tier. This was the Maverick. I think this was like the first tier 10. It was pretty good whenever it first came out. So that's what I remember about it. Yeah, it'll go in B tier. Okay, this unit bothers me. I'll tell you why. It's called the Signal Jamming Drone. With that said, it's a drone. So why does it have a cockpit? Can anyone answer? Why is there a cockpit for a drone? All right. The Signal Jamming Drone has made its own tier. It's called Design Flaw. I don't like design inconsistencies, and this fits into that. Okay, we have the C-17 Winged Mammoth. I don't remember it being good. It was trash. I'm just gonna put it in D tier. Okay, this wasn't a good unit, but I like the design. In fact, I wish that the Raider encounters would come with this. That way we could get some variations in formations that we come against. So I want to see more of this unit. I wouldn't use it, but I want to see more of this in the Raider armies. So I'm gonna put it at S tier in hopes of it becoming a staple in the Raider formation at higher levels. Okay, I think this one was the original. This was like the Shadow Wasp. Later on, we got the Shadow Hornet. And from what I can remember, they were both trash. They made the first one. It was bad. They wanted to come back. They said, you loved it the first time. Guess what we have? And then they made it again. And I think it was also slightly worse for some reason. I might be wrong. So this one I'm going to put in D tier. And this one I'm going to put in a new tier called the Shitty Sequel. because I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Disclaimer, I like the Silver Wolf units. All Silver Wolf units I enjoy because I just imagine the boys getting together, wanting to form a gang and just duct taping shit together to make a weapon. So already I like Silver Wolf units. On top of that, so there was a World War II pilot that basically got a crop duster, strapped like 6 bazookas to it, and then harassed German tanks. And this reminds me of that. So I'm gonna put that in S tier. So every time I see the Silver Wolf Chinook, it makes me think of me and like 3 friends in a garage, duct taping a ceiling fan to a lawnmower engine, one of us getting in it and throwing bricks and lawn darts at the enemy. So it's also gonna go up to S tier. I think 3-winged planes are dumb. 2 is like already pushing it, 3 is dumb. I'm gonna put that in design flaw. We got the original boar, which was absolutely goated. I would put it in S tier, but because I was never in a guild that could get it, I never got it. So for that, it's getting deducted down to A tier. And then we have the Boar 2, which is just a shitty sequel. So that's where that's gonna go. This is a Hurricane, and it flies. It sometimes shoots. Yeah, it's a plane. It's gonna go into C tier. For the legendary animals, they're gonna need their own tier list. I think the legendary animals were the start of the death of BattleNations originally. While I have fond memories of them, and the only ones I ever had was the legendary raptor and the legendary sandworm. I had like 1 or 2 legendary raptors and 2 legendary sandworms. And while they are fun to use, I think they directly killed the game by starting this spiral of release really good nanopod unit and then 1-up it until it just keeps climbing higher and higher and all of the new units are overpowered. And it basically became one-man armies of legendary sandworms. So all of the legendary units will go into this category. Okay, we have the Bigfoot Shaman. It's a monkey man throwing spears at fighter aircraft. That's A tier right there. We got some eggs. If you ever wanted to bring some eggs to a battlefield, that's kind of cool. It serves the egg niche. So we're gonna go ahead and just put that in the B tier. The Bigfoot. It's a Bigfoot. Okay, the only use it has is the infection test facility, I feel like. Other than that, I don't think it's that good. It's gonna go to C tier. All baby animals are gonna go into design flaw because they are just worse versions of the parent counterpart and they cost nanopods. So why do y'all exist? There needs to be something, they need a redesign, they need a rework. With that said, let me find the other baby animals. Now that I have all the baby animals in design flaw, I'm gonna take the young boar and we're gonna put it to kill the game because I'm grinding it right now and I hate it. So I'm just gonna say that this contributed to kill the game originally. Okay, we have the Bigfoot, the infected Bigfoot. I hate the infected system. I don't like that I have to buy a unit for like 5 laurels just to gamble for a unit that I want. The only exception is the Bigfoot because you're pretty much either guaranteed to get it or another good unit. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. The Boss Strike one. It's basically the Bigfoot infected, but better. So it obviously has to go above that. Okay, Boar Matriarch. I don't really know where to put this thing. It's gonna go next to the Bigfoot. Yeah, if you wanted to pay nanopods for a Boar Matriarch, you could. Same with the Mammoth, or the Elder Mammoth. I'm gonna do 2 units kind of at the same time. So we have the Mammoth Artillery and the War Mammoth. Now, I already said I liked Spawn on Death, and I'll tell you why. Actually, I think it needs to be expanded a little bit. I think more units need it, and also in the current version of the game, if this Mammoth Artillery died, a rank 1 War Mammoth would come out. I think that the unit that comes out of the original unit should be the same rank as the unit that you have. So if I had rank 6 War Mammoths, that should come out as a rank 6 War Mammoth. Now, with that said, I'm going to put them both into B tier because I like the Spawn on Death and I want it to be expanded upon. The Scythe-Tooth Raptor. It's gonna go right next to the other adult critters. You know what? Fuck it. It's gonna go into D tier. You know what I just realized? We don't have an F tier. We now have an F tier. And because this was the unit that made me notice we don't have an F tier, it's gonna go into the F tier. Sorry, Scythe-Tooth Raptor. Okay, we got Rudok, the red-nosed raptor. I don't know what to say about this. It was a trophy unit. You probably wouldn't use it unless you were a low level. And with that said, if you were a low level, it was really hard to get the gold required for this unit. So I'm gonna put it in D tier. Is this the adult sandworm or the tamed sandworm? I don't know. Okay, I don't know if this is the adult sandworm or the tamed sandworm. So it's gonna go into F tier. The spider wasp units. I am not a fan. We have, which one is this? Like the drone or something. And then the other one, I'm not a fan. You unlock them at a high level and I feel like they're just not that good for the level you unlock them. I also feel like they're just unnecessary. I don't want to explain myself, but we're gonna have smash, 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 pass. And I will not elaborate. I have a bone to pick. Why is the Mammoth Rider a prestigious academy unit? It should not be. That's a design flaw. By the time we get the prestigious academy at like level 70 or whatever, this thing is completely obsolete. Design flaw. This was another mission unit. It was the Flames of Love Archer. I think I might have managed to get this, but either way, it's not that good. It's just gonna go right here. It was a trophy unit. If you like trophy units, it's cool, but you'll never use it for real. Okay, we got some naval units. I'm just gonna say it now. All naval units need to be redesigned. So they are all going to go into design flaw. Except the atmospheric trooper. I think it was cool because it was also used on land. So it's gonna go into B tier. Okay, as I find more naval units, they will go into design flaw. I said I liked the Silverwolf units, and one of the reasons for that was I like how they just have homemade weapons of terrorism. That being said, this is like an artillery gun that is not homemade. I don't know where this guy managed to get an artillery gun, but it doesn't fit into the style. It's a good unit, it does good damage, but how did you get this? Did you steal it? If you did, that's fine, but I want to know. So you're gonna go into F tier. This is what makes a good Silverwolf unit. It's just a bulldozer bucket strapped to the back of a truck that's probably spring loaded, and it throws barrels of flaming shit on everybody. That's a Silverwolf unit. We have the Assassinator. It's a sniper unit. It's a good sniper unit, but I think all sniper units are kind of eh. I think this one like had some high dodge, so I'll put them in B tier. Yeah, that sounds right. I'm not a fan of the railgun. I think all railgun troops kind of need a rework. So I'll put the sniper and the trooper right here. Same for plasma, the plasma technician, and same for the laser. Yeah, I think a lot of these futuristic troops just kind of need a rework because they feel like they either do the same thing or are very underwhelming. All right, we have the snow trooper. I want to see different types of terrain in BattleNations. I don't want to only see snow. I would like to see like a desert terrain where your heavier vehicles get like a movement or a dodge penalty and defense penalty. I just want to see more terrain. I don't know how to do it. I don't design games, but I think that should be expanded and I think that will improve the game. So we're gonna put this in B tier because it made me think of that. Mech Trooper, it was a good unit and I had some as a kid. I enjoyed crushing things. So yeah, it's gonna go to A tier because I have fond memories of owning this. Shadow Agent, F tier. Another laser, design flaw. I think this was the gunner too. This one was actually just bad. Like I remember people hating on this thing so much. So it's gonna stay at the bottom of this tier. So here we have the Eagle Eye. I think the Hunger Games came out whenever they were designing this and they were just trying to capitalize on it. I think it was all right, but it's also just kind of a sniper unit. I'm gonna put it next to the Assassinator. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, both the Assassinator and the Eagle Eye belong in C tier. Yeah, that feels better. Another laser unit, and this one's a laser sniper, so it's gonna stay at the bottom of design flaw. These two units look like they do the same thing. I'm sure they had stat differences, but why do we have two units that look like they do the exact same thing? I don't know their attacks off the top of my head, but I don't like them. Redesign. All right, the Blood Ninja. It was a really good unit, but I think it actually started this chain of more and more powerful units, because this was like the first really powerful unit that people had to have to be competitive. So I think it started the chain of increasingly more powerful units until like we were just up to this thing. So it's gonna go into the killed the game tier right next to the young boar. Young boar, bottom of the game of this. The shinobi. It was a free-to-play ninja trooper. It's a ninja, so it has a cool design. It's all right. I think it's actually weaker than the normal ninja trooper, so it'll go in C tier. This was the Raider recruit. Yeah, F tier. Same with this, but for different reasons. All right, the Wandering Samurai. I think this was my first nanopod unit, so it's gonna go up to S tier. It was also pretty good. Okay, the Weapons Technician. Some people want this removed out of the game. I think that's a dumb idea. And I'll go into some details on this one. So it does need to be balanced. I don't think it should increase damage by 600% or whatever it was. But in a vacuum, this unit is not good. It relies on other units to do damage. It's not like the legendary Sandworm where it's a one-man army. Put in this frail unit that can die very easily to weaken a strong unit on the enemy side. That way your units have a chance to take it out quickly. And that adds a level of strategy to the game. Instead of I have a bigger, stronger unit, I win. This added some strategy and tactics that made the game a bit more in depth, if I would. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. It does need to be rebalanced, but I love the idea of it. Okay, these guys, the 3 snipers, the kill shot, dead shot, and whatever, I don't know, other shot. They are really good, but they did contribute to killing the game. Or if they didn't, they would have. And it's because of how accessible they are. I don't think the top guilds should just get them, especially if it's only like a one-time thing, because that's just gonna start a snowball effect of the strongest guilds getting stronger and unable to be dethroned. So they're gonna go here. I wouldn't mind seeing them in the game, but either A, they can't be used in PvP, or B, they need to be more accessible to everyone. The Deadeye, it's a nanopod sniper. I think it was a good sniper, but I'm not a fan of all snipers. I think just the nature of them in the game currently, they can't perform that well. Taking out one unit isn't good enough. You have to be able to damage multiple units or be tanky as well. The Elemental Trooper, it's a good unit. I think I'm gonna put it in S tier. I don't think it was crazy overpowered, but it was like a good unit. Like everyone used them, but you couldn't just win with an army of them. Aero Jetpack, I never had one. They were good, I heard. Yeah, it's gonna go in C tier. The Radio Tech, the only unit from the prestigious academy that I think is actually good. Plasma weapons, look, these 2 units are the same. One has a slightly different attack and their stats vary a little bit, but they're the same. So I feel like there's bloat. There's a lot of bloat to this game, and units like this are the reason. In fact, they're both getting demoted to help kill the game, because I think unit bloat is a problem in BattleNations. All right, same with this. Like, look, what is this? This is like the same unit twice. And then there's another one, he's just a sniper. Y'all are also getting demoted. Congratulations. Okay, the Special Agent. He was a nanopod version of the Field Agent. He was just slightly better in every way. The Field Agent was good. This one cost nanopods. I'm gonna put it in a solid B. Smash. Also smash. All right, these are gonna go next to their sniper counterparts. In fact, I'll even color coordinate them there. Yep, see the sniper reference for why I put them there. The zombie units. Whenever I was playing BattleNations, I'm pretty sure The Walking Dead was a little popular, and I was really into that show. So we'll go ahead and just put them both in like B tier, because I thought they were cool. This thing is kind of trash. The Armored SUV, it was a nanopod unit that I don't remember a lot about, so I'm assuming it's bad. Okay, this fucking thing. The Mechanized Artillery killed the game. I don't know why you were added. I don't even know what your DOT status effect means. What the fuck is this? Okay, so this is just the upgraded version of this. It's the nanopod version. The pay to win version, if you will. I think the dragon is just like, it's not the worst unit in the game. It's not good. They're both going to go into D tier. The boom bus. This was a great example of how not to release and then balance a unit in like the same week. F tier. Okay, this I feel like kind of killed the game. I think it just needs to be reworked a little bit. I think that one attack that like hit the whole battlefield for like one shot was just a little bit, it was a little too much. The Nomad, yeah, I don't remember what this thing's name was, but it's called the Nomad. It was good. I think it was basically a vehicle version of the ET. So it's gonna go right next to it. Yeah, that feels good. This is just a gold heavy tank. It's a Flexer's vehicle. So it's gonna go into D tier. This is basically the Arrow jetpack. So it's a shitty sequel. Okay, the hovercraft and the hover tank. Whoa, what did y'all do? I don't know what y'all did. F tier. F tier. Like, why did we have a hover tank? Oh, I think it was that earthquake boss strike. Like, this was immune to it, which makes it only good for like one thing. Yeah, so F tier. Okay, the railgun buggy and the railgun tank. Yeah, I have 3 other railgun units and killed the game. I don't feel like you two killed the game, but y'all have some design flaws. You are gonna go there. All right, this is gonna go next to the other laser units. They need to be reworked. Okay, the plasma turret had like the same attack as these two. It was just a turret, which, sure, because it's unmanned, like you can, it can take up a defensive slot or an ignorable slot. But still, it's just the same thing. These 3 are basically the same. Humvee automatic S tier. No further explanation needed. Real quick, which one's the Peacekeeper and which one's like the Earth Shaker? I can't tell them apart. So, all right, I'll just put them in F tier. Okay, the Supreme Mini Tank. I think this was a funny unit. It was a fun gag unit. The only thing I don't like about it is you could only get one. But honestly, it might be a little overpowered to have as many as you want because of how strong it gets at rank 6. For those of you who don't know, this is the vehicle version of the Wimp. The monster truck. I don't know, remember it was like the Bigfoot, wasn't it? It was called like the Bigfoot. I had one, and after I bought it, I was like, wow, I wish I bought like literally anything else. F tier. The Phalanx. I never got one, and I was always jealous of watching people on YouTube use it. For that, F tier. Okay, this is what I mean about unit bloat. Like, why do we even have this thing? This thing we only use for one mission. I don't know why it became a permanent addition to our army. Design flaw. The electric fence. From what I remember, it was a good wall. It'll go in B tier. A tier. Yeah, sure. Wait, didn't I rank this? I swear I ranked this. I did. There's two of these. Who made this? Who made this list? Y'all put 2 of these. Okay, for that, they're both going to F tier. Okay, again, I'm just a sucker for the Silverwolf designs. This is just like a bulldozer that they strapped a bunch of fucking shit to. There's a story out there of a dude who was like trying to get a permit or something to like do construction on his house, and it got denied. So his most reasonable answer was to get a bulldozer, weld like a bunch of steel plate to it, and then drive it into like City Hall. And that's a really funny story. S tier. Arctic tanks, they're not good, but like I said, I want to see like sandy terrain that your normal tanks can't drive on. That way something like the Dune Rider can actually have a use. So I'll put these in B tier because they propagate that idea for me. L7 Sandworm. This makes me think of the Underminer from The Incredibles. B tier. Laser tank. You're gonna go with the other laser units. Y'all just need a rework. See, this is what I mean, unit bloat. Like, look at all these units. Like, they're just the same thing. They are 1, 2, 3, like frontline infantry for lasers, a sniper, an unmanned machine gun turret. Like, does there need to be this many laser units? They're not even that good. I feel like we only need 2 laser units, and if they were maybe a bit better. Like, I would say maybe the turret or the tank in one of these units right here. We don't need like all fucking 5 of them. Mammoth tank, I'm going to put it next to the War Mammoth, taking the place of the Mammoth artillery, because it's also a, like, once this unit's health goes out, it becomes a War Mammoth, and I think that's a cool mechanic. This doesn't even look like it's from BattleNations. Like, what the fuck is this? You broke the game. Same for you. You're gonna go right next to there. You're a good unit, but I think you just need to be dialed back like a little bit. Towards the end of BattleNations, all YouTube videos just had the plasma tank, the plasma artillery, and maybe like the phalanx tank, wherever I put it, and some legendary sandworms. That was all armies. It was just those. Snow Crusher. What did you do? You don't have a gun, do you? Did you just fucking ram people? I don't know. Design flaw. The lightning tank. It's kind of like the lightning trooper and the lightning dragoon, but tank form. And I think it's just kind of I'll put it in like C tier. Using medieval weaponry in a modern combat zone would be really funny. So S tier. The flak gun. It was a anti-aircraft nanopod unit. I think it was good at taking out aircraft, but I think that's all it was good at. So D tier. The brutalizer. We have it now, and after using it, it's a little frail, but it does good damage. So I would put it in B tier, but I don't know why it can't hit infantry. Why can't I grind a bunch of troopers into a paste? So it's gonna go down to C tier. Heavy chemical tank. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, fan of the chemical weapons. They are pretty good. It's gonna go to like B tier. The boar is trash. The Imperial boar, it's trash. Why on earth would you train a pig and bring it to a battlefield? Mammoths were trained, or not mammoths, but elephants were trained in real life to go to war. Who the fuck is training pigs? We have the redneck units. First up, we have the hunter. I think he's really good against critters. Being good against critters is like being good at flexing on the homeless. It's really not that impressive, so it's gonna go to F tier. The lumberjack. Yeah, you're also gonna go to F tier. I don't even remember what this guy's called. Is he like the engineer? Yeah, he has a stick of dynamite, which is like, all right, F tier. Man on a tractor, pure aura, honestly. He has like a 44 Magnum. He just cruises up on a tractor, S tier. Redneck with shotgun. Yeah, you're gonna go up to S tier. The RPG trooper, it's just really like aggressively mid, C tier. Raider champion. I'm already not really a huge fan of recruiting the filthy raiders, so D tier. Ninja trooper. It's pretty cool if you want like one unit dead. I'm gonna just put it above the shinobi. Yeah, if you want like one particular unit super dead anywhere on the map, behind blocking units, wherever, these guys are pretty good at it. If I use this thing, it is absolute trash. If the enemy uses this thing, it stabs one of my artillery units, and then I get to watch over the next 4 turns as they are poisoned to death. F tier. Medium tank. I'm not gonna lie, most tank units I do not use. Like normal tank units. There's of course like the lightning, which are a kind of exception. But like just your average tank, I basically just rushed through the levels until I got super tanks and then never used any other tank. I did use mini tanks. I'm just gonna put this in C tier. AA turret, you can mass produce it. If we ever encounter a boss strike with a lot of flying units, it would be all right with some wimp spam. I'll put it in like C tier. People sleep on the Peacemonger. It has some pretty good defenses. It's got good health, good armor, and it has some pretty good dodge. It actually has the same dodge as a ninja. So I'm gonna put it right next to the ninja because these two guys can move just as fast. They are both equally good at dodging bullets, even though this one is clad in like probably 100 pounds of equipment and armor. Actually, I'm gonna move it up to B tier. I think people sleep on it. Pyro. The TF2 units are good, but I'm not really a fan of them being in the game, if I'm being honest. I think they just kind of squeeze out the other units that are designed in the game. Firework truck. D tier. That's all I'm gonna say. The heavy artillery. Yeah, it's gonna go with the other artillery. It's the worst of them, so it'll go right there. The fire drake. It needs to be redesigned. It needs more damage. I think it's fine, but it just needs more damage. The basilisk was such a disappointment. We have the Ares. It is the worst of all of these units. It's just so bad. Like, there's no reason to get it. The mortar team does just as much damage as it, and it's just, I don't know, it's just not good. The marksman. It's a sniper unit. It's gonna go here with the other snipers. This is a personal pet peeve of mine. This is called the bio grenadier, implying that he uses a bio weapon, so some sort of germ, bacteria, virus, or something to kill his enemies. This is called the chem trooper, suggesting he sprays them with acid. They're made from the same vials. What the fuck are in the vials? Why is this one using chemicals and this one using biological warfare? It's an inconsistency and I don't like it, so design flaw. The meerkat. What's your purpose, man? What do you do? I don't know why you're here. This is gonna go in design flaw. Dune Rider, S tier. The heavy gunner, S tier. I'm not gonna explain these two. My last video actually just came out on the heavy grenadier, and you saw it can beat the ancient construct. With that said, it's overshadowed by the TF2 demo man right here. So I don't know where to put this thing. If the demo man did not exist, this would probably be like a B tier unit. Maybe a C tier, but a B tier unit. But the demo man exists, and he's just better in every way. And for that, I'm gonna put him in F tier. The flame turret. I have one and I forget it exists. I can't wait to rank this bad boy up. I've used it a few times. And oh boy, if you wanted to light 3 units on fire, this is your unit. F tier. The Raider Skirmisher. I think out of all the Raider units, this one is the most fun. But it's still a Raider. I'll put it in C tier. The Juggernaut. Cool idea, poor execution, needs to be rebalanced. The Mega Tank. Smash. Heavier tank. Pass. F tier. Kill the ranged frag. Marry the melee frag, and frick the Dexter frag. Okay, the veteran. I actually have a hot take on this. This is a serious take, and people are not gonna like me. In fact, I'm gonna have to pull up the Wikipedia page and explain myself. So give me a second. Okay, the veteran. I think it needs to be reworked. It's not necessarily a nerf, but in its current state, I think it's going to dominate PvP because of how good it is at killing tanks. So in order to balance it, I am suggesting you first off change the damage type for the 2 machine gun attacks to piercing damage. Okay? But increase the damage and the offense slightly for both of the attacks as well. And I know a lot of people are not going to like that. And I hear you saying, oh, but it's going to be good against the Ancient Sentinel. Okay, it still will be good. And look, this is why. If you look at the Ancient Sentinel's resistances, it resists piercing and explosive the same. So it would actually be better against the Ancient Sentinel while still making it worse against normal tanks. It can keep it can keep this attack. In fact, you can give this attack a crit versus tanks, and it will still have a niche use against them. But I think that particularly this attack is so good at wiping out entire front lines, it needs to be rebalanced. Not necessarily nerfed. It can keep a high damage, it can keep the armor piercing. Just change it to piercing damage. There's no reason for it to be explosive type damage. It would still be good. In fact, it would be better since it has higher damage against the Ancient Sentinel, because the Ancient Sentinel takes the same amount of damage from explosive and from piercing. Okay, and with that said, it's gonna go in design flaw. I think it needs a slight rebalance. It should not be able to wipe out an entire row of tanks in like 3 turns. We're at the infected. I don't like the infected system right now. I think it needs to be reworked. I, in fact, have not infected any units to this day. It is October 25th, and I have not infected a single unit because I don't feel like gambling away units. I'll probably do some Raptors and some Bigfoots in the future just because you have pretty decent chances of getting a decent unit. But for the rest, I don't feel like wasting away good units at a chance to get a decent unit. None of them are even like crazy good. So with that said, all of the normal infected are going into design flaw. We have the Silverwolf Enforcer. Honestly, for a unit, like for just a normal infantry unit with a machine gun, he manages to stand out the most just because he's able to switch between that like burst fire and that single shot. And that just makes him unique, and I think he just belongs in S tier. He's not a super great unit, but he's unique, and he's also a Silverwolf unit, so he goes up there. The Thug, he's honestly not that good. He just has a three tile machine gun spray. He's gonna go like D tier. The Grenadier, he does throw pipe bombs, and that will make you a domestic terrorist. S tier. There's this guy. He always manages to crit my tanks whenever I fight against him, and it enrages me. F tier. The Wolf Scrapper is just a crackhead with a machete. Automatic S tier. Okay, the Frostbite and the Cryo Trooper. They are gonna be in the same boat as, where is he? The Weapons Tech? Where'd I put him? Okay, A tier. Because on their own, in a vacuum, they're not that good. But because they apply the freeze debuff, which makes other units stronger, they're gonna go in A tier. One's free to play and one's pay to win. Imitation Frag killed the game. I don't think it actually killed the game, but it annoys me. I'm not even a big fan of the Sinister and Dexter Frag to begin with. I think they're okay units. I do like getting them from boss drops. But to make a worse version of them and then charge 100 nanopods is kind of crazy. It's killed the game. This is Steve Irwin, S tier. The Gorilla and the Saboteur. I think they need a redesign. I don't care if you get rid of one or you make one free to play and keep the other one pay to win. But why do we have 2 units that basically do the same thing? Yes, I know the Gorilla is stronger, but then why do we even have the Saboteur? Like, why would you buy the Saboteur if however many levels later you just unlock the Gorilla? I think one needs to either be pay to win, probably the Gorilla, and the other one's free to play, the Saboteur, or you just get rid of one of them completely. Just get rid of all of one of them and convert them into this one. Design flaw. Drive-by shootings. That's an automatic B tier. Okay, I know I said I like the Silverwolves because they just like take stuff you can find at home and strap it together into a weapon. And that's what this is. They just turned a garbage truck into an RPG launcher, but why? The creativity that went into this was poorly placed. F tier. The Lightning Trooper, the Lightning Dragoon, and the Imperial Dragoon. Frick, marry, kill. Yeah, actually, yeah, this is better. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with this. Kill the Imperial Dragoon because fuck ranking this thing up. Marry the Lightning Trooper and frick the Imperial Dragoon. All right, I know most of you degenerates would say smash to the tentacle. For y'all, I will put it in C tier. The Ironclad. I know I said I'm going to put all naval units in design flaw because they need to be reworked, but I actually got an Ironclad on my first ever Dreadnought, and for that, S tier. Brimstone. I think this is a good artillery. Even like the gambling attack, I think it's good. A tier. The Sandworm. It's a pretty good unit. It's a nanopod unit. I would put it B tier. It's not great. I wouldn't buy one for any reason really, but if I had one, yeah, that's cool. Junior Officer. It's just gonna put that in C tier. We have these 2 submarines. Make this the normal sub free to play, and leave the tactical sub alone. I mean, obviously, adjust their stats, but they're both naval units and they're going to go into design flaw. Peacekeeper. Every guild is making all their members make like 3,000 of these, and it's really annoying. F tier. Okay, we have the rocket truck and the heavy recon. I'm going to put the heavy recon in D tier, and the rocket truck is honestly just the same thing but free to play, and it also doesn't have a flamethrower. Yeah, that sounds about right. The turtle sheller. It is a spawn on death unit, and I'm gonna put it with the other units I liked because they were spawned on death. Shock trooper, I think, is like a perfect example of what a nanopod unit should be. It's basically an upgrade to the normal trooper, but not like crazy. It's just like slightly better. And I think it's a good example of what a nanopod unit should be. Little fish. I know I said I'm gonna put all naval units in the design flaw, but the little fish is the only baby critter that doesn't cost nanopods. So for that, it's gonna go to A tier. All right, mini tank. It's the first decent armor you get, B tier. Heavy tank. Where did I put the other tanks? Here. I'm gonna put it right next to the heavier tank. Like I said, I don't use any other tanks except supers because I am a pay to win shill. It's just gonna go to F tier by default. Gunner. If I didn't buy the TF2 unit, I would have used you a lot more, A tier. Light tank. Same as all the other tanks. I have one because of the mission and I've hardly ever used it. All right, this is a cool designed unit. I like motorcycles. I have a motorcycle. S tier. Gun truck. The first heavy hitting unit you get, but poor accuracy, D tier. Bazooka squad. I wish you were better, F tier. The scout. See other TF2 units. The sniper. It is a sniper. It will shoot one guy right in the head. And if you wanted to kill one single dude, it would be the unit. The commando. Basically a super shock trooper, B tier. The only reason it's going to B tier is because you get one for free. Arsonist, kill. Demolitionist. You're free to play, right? You blow shit up. You do blow shit up. D tier. I would never use you, but you do exactly what I expect you to do. Machine gun turret was super easy to rank, A tier. Longest fucking attack animation I've ever seen. When I was ranking this thing up, I would sit there and just count the seconds in my head as this thing decided to fucking dig through his pockets to find a fucking grenade. I'm gonna say you killed the game. Light chem is gonna go right next to the heavy chem. I think this is another good example of a good free-to-play unit and a good nanopod unit. Dirty Raider. I'm not a fan of, F tier. Standard Dirty Raider, F tier. The definition of mid, C tier. Gunboat is gonna go next to the other naval units. Sometimes I'll see videos of protesters getting sprayed by riot trucks and I'll laugh, S tier. Mortar truck. Most artillery in this game is trash. Yep, F tier with the other artillery. The Puma. Like I said, I only use super tanks. Even whenever this was an option, I never used it. All right, scout bike, I'm currently ranking up. It's honestly pretty fun. Only the last attack. It's a fun unit. If you wanted to wipe out whole rows of unarmored infantry, this guy can do it, C tier. Redneck playing with fireworks. This reminds me a lot of myself whenever I was a kid. Me and my friends would launch fireworks at each other, and that is good memories. S tier. The recon vehicle. I remember when I was younger, getting this thing in the mission and just thinking, holy shit, I have a tank with miniguns. And I thought that because I was a stupid kid, so F tier. The riot trooper. It's the first true armor you get, but it's not that great. I'm gonna say C tier. The jet ski dude. Jet skis are fun. It's gonna go to B tier. The hailstorm, C tier. The sharpshooter. So I've told you how I feel about sniper units, and I would put it in C tier, but it's really bad at being a sniper, so it's gonna go down to D. The destroyer, rebalance. We got the armadillo. It's a spawn on death. Even though it's not good, I just like that it's spawn on death. Please, Madrona, expand the spawn on death mechanic. Have you ever wanted to gamble? I would honestly recommend taking a mortgage out on your house and putting it on green on roulette. Do not use the powerboat. The Tempest, it gets fucking trolled on already. But in the wiki, it is described as anti-air, but it cannot hit air units. I'm gonna put you right next to the young boar. Killed the game. The Hornet. Recently, I was talking to a viewer. Y'all said y'all liked the Hornet, so I'm gonna put it in S tier for you. The Hunter. Frick. Fire Breather is yes, it is a raider, but he's kind of like the Arsonist in that I don't like him, so we're gonna put him in kill. Mortar Team. It's actually pretty good. Even like at higher levels, if you're free to play, the free one that you have, it's not bad. B tier. Light Artillery. The worst artillery in the game. The Flame Trooper has a special place in my heart. And that's why I made it its own little space right here. Worst unit in the game. Okay, the Wall. My guild wants me to rank this thing up. I'm never gonna use it because I am not a fan. It's a wall. It has a lot of HP, no resistances. It's not that good. Costs a lot of gears to make. F tier. M10, literal pay to win. Raptor. If you're a free-to-play player, early levels, the Raptor fucks. A tier. Field Agent. It's good. Yeah. It's a unit. B tier. Heavy. Right next to the Pyro. Design flaw. Why are you here? And let me be clear. I used the Heavy a lot. I have used and abused the Heavy. With that said, it needs to be nerfed. It needs to be removed. It needs something. It can't stay like it is. All right, the Buoy. The only naval unit I am willing to put in S tier right now. I think the Buoy is perfect. It does its job. The Salamander. Sandworms would be such a pain without you, so A tier. The Pelican. It's the only aircraft we can train, but honestly, it's like, It fills the role of an aircraft. B tier. The Raptor battleship. Right with the rest of naval. The Trooper. It's gonna go next to the Shock Trooper because they are the perfect symbol of what free to play and pay to win should look like. Just a slight upgrade. In fact, the Trooper actually out damages the Shock Trooper with one of its attacks at rank 6. Dustwalker. The only raider unit that doesn't cost skulls to heal. So instead of the normal F tier, you will go to C tier. It's actually also pretty decent. Big Fish. You're gonna go next to the Tentacle. I forgot why I put the Tentacle here, but you just belong next to it. The Soldier. Next to all the other TF2 units in design flaw. All right, the Raider Cannoneer is actually not bad. I don't know if it's worth the skulls, but I'll put it in D tier. Super Tank. This is the only tank I really use besides like the chemical tanks. It's good. A tier. It's a super tank. Okay, in my eyes, the Tank Killer has one purpose, and that is to roll out once a week to the Ancient Construct and kill it. So a lot of people think it's really good. I only use it for that. I do not use it for anything else. I'm gonna put it in B tier. The Wimp. It's the Wimp. I'm gonna put it in S tier because if not, I feel like someone would find where I live and kill me. Yeah, S tier. The Chucker. Also S tier. It's kind of like almost in the same boat as the Wimp. It's cheap to make and heal, and it does its job. It's actually probably one of the few artilleries that are actually good in the game right now. Sandbag. The last unit, S tier. And I have no reason for that other than I think it's funny. All right, that's all the units. And if you are upset with any of the positions, please let me know in the comment section. I promise I will read it and consider thinking about it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you possibly next week with another unit review.